headline match of the weekend, Liverpool versus Manchester United. Let's hear from the two managers. Here's Jurgen Klopp and Erik ten Hag.
Just to start off with, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, are you able to update on their issues and the severity and the timescales they're facing?
Yeah, so Harry, he will not be available for coming games, but we don't think it's a long term. And Luke Shaw, he trained this morning, so we think he's available for Sunday.
And in terms of the rest of the team, you seem to have quite a lengthy absentee list. Is there anyone else going to be available back from illness or injury?
Yes, Marcus Rashford. He will. Martial not.
Samuel.
Do you know who your captain's going to be on Sunday with Bruno suspended?
Yes, I know.
Are you going to tell us?
No.
And then going back to the Anfield game last season, obviously it was a bad day. The win percentage of the team seems to have fallen drastically since then compared to before it. Do you think there's been a psychological effect of that result, that defeat?
Oh, I think everyone knows. I think everyone is highly motivated when you go to Anfield. It's a great place to go, and it's going to be tough. And I think that is everything what every top footballer wants. He wants to have that challenge. So you have to looking forward. And last year, of course, we take that in our memory. But you have to also take the benefit from it, learn from it. And on Sunday, we can prove that.
Dave.
Erik, you'll know managers are ultimately judged by the results of their teams. What gives you the confidence that you have the backing of everybody here at the club still, despite the...
I feel that, and they tell it against me. But actually, and that's fine, and that's okay. But I'm focusing on the process. I'm focusing on to make this team play better. I'm focusing on make the individuals better, and that's my concern. And that's all what I'm doing, focusing on the right thing, and that is the team.
You can't get distracted by concern about your job or whatever, or whether you might lose your job.
No, but there's no concern, because I'm here to win, and I have to make the team play better. And if you play good, even then I say good is not good enough. And so now we are inconsistent. So I have to work on that. The team is going to play in a longer for longer periods in a higher level.
Simon.
Erik, you brought Rasmus in for a lot of money, and he's not scored in the Premier League. I know he's scored in the Champions League, but are you giving him enough support? Is the team providing him with enough support? Because he doesn't look as though he's going to score at the moment.
As you said, he scored on the highest level. Champions League, 5 goals. It's a massive performance from a young player. I don't think there are so many young players who can do that. So you see, he has the potential, and we recognize that. And I'm sure he will get there. He will also going to score in the Premier League. I see how he's working in the training. We have to work on our attacking game, but I think he had his opportunities. Also at the team, bring him in the right place. But it can always be better. And as you say, he didn't score so far in the Premier League, so we have to work on that.
Erik, how much do you envy Liverpool? Because at the moment they're top of the league. They've only lost once. They've been able to rest players in midweek, unlike yourselves. They've not got as many injuries. How much do you envy them? Because they're perhaps where maybe you want to be.
Oh yeah, they're playing good, no doubt. But we have some more tough games in the last period. So Bayern is also a very good team, and so we have seen we can go head to head with them. So that is our challenge for Sunday as well.
Do you worry? Are you a manager who's starting to worry with the injuries and with the trip to a team like Liverpool? Are you worried?
No, and that we will put out a team who can challenge, a team who is confident to win that game, and we're preparing the team in the best way we can, and we are confident that we put out a team who can win there.
Jamie.
Given the 7-0 humiliation, because it was humiliation last year, a lot of people are asking me, do you think, Erik, do you think the team would take maybe a 1 or a 2-0 defeat? No embarrassment. Obviously, you do not want that, but how can you stop your players being scared, basically, of that happening again? Because it's got to be in their heads.
I haven't seen last season that we were scared there. And yeah,
that was before you lost the 7-0, right? So that's happened. So now that's happened. Do you think?
But that is it was a bad experience, but it's not similar. And it is you start again on 0. And last year, first half, I think we played very decent, and we got hammered just before halftime, just after halftime, and then we collapsed. So yeah, that can't happen. But it was last year, and it was a different team, also all different players, for a part at least. Yeah. So yeah, we will not ignore it, but we go there and we will be confident. And I know my players; they will be confident to go there from the end or from the start to the end. We have to fight there. We have to challenge there, and you go there with the idea. And so we will prepare them, and we go to win there.
Have you watched it back? Will you show it to them? Have you shown it to them to sort of point out what you to learn from it, basically?
No, so we know that. But last year, it was the past, and what we can change is the future. And so that's Sunday. Sunday is a new game.
Sure.
Hi, Erik. It's going to be a frantic, hostile atmosphere. How important is it players keep a cool head, and how important is leadership in that situation?
Yeah, but we talked about this issue the last weeks many times, and these players proved they can deal with that. So yeah, and on Sunday there's the next challenge. So that is I would say our demand. We have to do it repeatedly and on a consistent base, and that's our challenge. But we will go for that.
James.
Erik, clearly you'd wanted to be in the Champions League in the new year, but now you're not and you're out of Europe entirely. Can it be a benefit to you going forward that you're going to have more time on the training ground, you're going to have a less frantic schedule that might hopefully help injuries alleviate? Can you turn that into a positive going forward?
Yeah, I think the way you describe it, I think that's true. At least we had so many injuries in the first part of the season, but now we have less games. So the load will be less, so that can give players the opportunities to recover, and also more time on the training pitch. But we will be fresher in the games.
So it can boost your hopes of a top 4 finish, you think?
Of course, that's a target.
Yeah.
It's really tricky. It's really tricky because we had to the Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday thing is it's really tough for each football team, was for us as well. So the Sunday was real rest for everybody. You can feel it when you need it yourself, then you know that. And I didn't play, so then the players needed even more so. So today we start training again, and medical department told me already we have still to make sure that a couple of boys that they will not do the full training session. Then we have to make a decision about Thursday. I'm not sure exactly what you mean with breathing space or preparation, because we travel tomorrow, so preparation for Sunday, for example, is difficult because we play on Thursday. And we have to make sure that we find the right mix with rhythm and maybe rest. So these decisions can only be made when we have all the information about the players tomorrow. So that's a bit tricky. Then we come back and then we pretty much play immediately united. So it's better than that if I have to go to Belgium and win this game. I have to win this game 4-0, definitely. But in the end, it's a football game. We want to win it. We want to go there, but we have to make sure we really understand our situation, right?
I know it's one game at a time, but over this period you've got Manchester United at home, then it's West Ham in the League Cup quarter-final, before Arsenal back at Anfield, Burnley away, before Newcastle back at home as well. It feels like it's a real crucial point in this season. How does it feel for you?
Exactly like that. And the problem is, again, it's like Monday, it's Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. It's so tough. It's so tough. And then it's 26, and then we have a few days between Burnley and Newcastle until the 1st of January. But it's brutal. We have to get through this. Obviously, we had now already our injuries, and we will see who is available for all the games. But we need them pretty much all to get through somehow. It's really tough, but it's for all the teams tough. And so it's just, you're right. It's crucial. Probably yes, it's for all of us, but we just have to make sure we try to find always a way to get into the next game and find a way to win it.
Only one of those games we mentioned, though, is away from Anfield. Is that advantageous for you during this busy period?
If we don't have to travel, it's better. And if we have Anfield in the bag, it's better as well. Definitely. So, but we will need Anfield. We will need Anfield definitely, because how I said, it's really tough. And all big games. So United and Arsenal, a big game. West Ham is a quarterfinal, it's a big game, and Boxing Day is a big game. So it's no doubt about that. And that's it's better than these 4 games would be away games, definitely. But it's still a big task.
Top of the league. You've spoken often about how excited you are about this group of players that you've got at the moment, but have we seen them show their true capabilities yet? And if not, what more is to come?
Oh yes, in moments, definitely. It's like you have really, what is the real capability? Is it what you can do in a moment, or is it what you can do in 3-4 years working together, stuff like this? I think for what we can do in a moment, we saw it in moments. And we saw the problems as well, and that's clear when you have a new group together, and it is a new group with different roles with new players and different roles for other players. So that's how it is, and there's always clear that you need time to find some stability. That's what we lacked in moments. So that's the truth. But in the end, so far it worked out somehow, and we have to make sure that we keep improving, even in the most difficult moments. And we were not, as a group, in this tough period. We never had a December together, let me say it like that. And the December in English football is the toughest month ever, and that's where we now have to show how far are we with that. I know when you're in early December, you're top of the table. The people start thinking about different things. We obviously don't. And I'm at least too long in the business that would mean anything to me. It's better than being 18th or 20th, but it's still just a position for the moment, and we have to keep working extremely hard, and that is so difficult when you don't have real time for recovery, but you have to do it anyway.
One of the games that the world really goes on pause for, it's the one where you really see the impact of the Premier League.
Huge game. Even more because Man United are struggling at the moment. Even more so, they got beat 7 last year at Anfield. Liverpool, top of the league. Man United will have sleepless nights on Saturday. The whole of the team, the whole of the management staff, because they can't be looking forward to going to Anfield. Liverpool will be rubbing their hands together, like some Mo Salah will be looking to add to his goal tally. And I think it's going to be a very difficult afternoon for Ten Hag and his men. We've got a lot of injuries. They're in a mess at the moment. I really mean that. Throughout the whole club. And they have to put that aside and try and stick together and get something at Anfield. But I won't hold my breath, because I think it's just all that points to is a Liverpool victory.
Yeah, and as Tim said, there are 2 clubs in very different positions, not just on the league table, in very different positions to where they are. Liverpool are title chasers once again, and Anfield is really a fortress for them this season once again.
They've won the last 7 home games, I think, just off the top of my head. So, yeah, I think they've extended the stadium. It's the first time it's going to be at an even bigger capacity.
8,000 more.
Yeah, so you're thinking 8,000 more fans that Manchester United are going to have to go against. So they haven't, impressively, I know we've all spoken about it, but the adjustment that he's made to that midfield to flip it, to get some players out that have pretty much dragged Liverpool through in the title races the last few seasons, and to bring a new midfield in, a new look, a new feel about that team, and to do it in such a turnaround and to be title contenders is really impressive. And the worst thing with Man United is they've got goals galore from everywhere and anywhere, and that's a problem, because who do you mark, who do you try and defend, how do you try and as Tim said, with injury, suspensions and a back line that is going to be chopped and changed, and you're thinking there's goals everywhere in this Liverpool side. So they're flying at the moment. They've just got to go front-footed and really put Manchester United on the back foot, because as Tim mentioned, that 7-0, once that 7-0, it was at 2-0, 3-0, they just fell apart.
Yeah.
And you can't see anything else that would be the same story if
and
that
they
was
were very
to happen.
competitive in the first half, if I remember correctly. I think they scored late on. They went 1-0 down at half-time with a late goal. And then there was capitulation, which is not good enough, which you can't do in a Man United shirt. But I think everything points to possibly being similar. I'm not sure it'll be 7 again, but I really can't see Man United winning now. I really can't.
And the worst game to be playing after the week that they've just had, Bournemouth, and then being knocked out of Europe as well. But if, as a player, if you cannot hype yourself up for Liverpool as a Man United player, when is it ever going to happen?
Look, and maybe with the team having to change, and you know, he's going to have to change with Phil. Bruno Fernandes isn't available. He might have to just put absolute worries in the team and just says, I don't care. You know, we're maybe not player for player better than them, but collectively we've got to fight for the badge, and maybe we've got to see something in the Man United team we haven't seen in a while. So they've got to come together somehow, and it is all against them, but sometimes that can unite you though.
As one of Liverpool's own, Trent Alexander-Arnold knows just what this weekend's fixture means to the city. Here he is defining one of football's greatest rivalries. If that doesn't get you excited for the match, very little else will. Sunday at Anfield, it's a date. Liverpool versus Manchester United. Trent Alexander-Arnold setting it up for us so beautifully. His position has been one of the most talked about this season, hasn't it?
We were just talking about it. And I think with McAllister, I think he's out with his knee. Because I said to Tim, would you play him out and out centre midfield, or would you keep him in that hybrid role and maybe move him in and out? But it's a question now, McAllister out, maybe just play him there. You know, you said it there, Tim, and the break, his passing range is brilliant. To let him go and do it, and maybe McAllister out, this is an opportunity to keep him there, play him there, and maybe change things up at the right back.
Well, they're going to have all of the ball.
Yeah.
You know, Man United tactics will be just to, like you suggested, a dogged midfield, you know, trying to get behind the ball, try and catch on the counter-attack. Rashford, I think, is fit. Garnacho on one side, Rashford's pace on the other. You know, whether he goes with Rasmus Højlund down the middle, who's yet to perform, but it's very difficult for him in this occasion. So they will dominate possession. They get the ball to the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold. With his range of passing, he can open up any team. You know, long range, short range passes, knows who picks the right pass at the right time. For me, I'd stick him in the midfield and let him keep getting the ball and let him keep penetrating that Man United defence. I think he could cause them all sorts of trouble.
How are United going to cause trouble? You mentioned no Bruno Fernandes. He's been involved in 33% of their goals this season. It's a big, big miss in a game like this.
It is, and like we just said, I think sometimes when you miss your big players, you've just got to galvanise a group, and it might not be about the individual. Collectively, we've got to come together, and collectively, Trent Alexander-Arnold said it there. Look, it's about who wants it the most on the day, and somehow the manager's Erik ten Hag's got to get round that 11 and say we want it more than them. And he's got to pull him in as a team. They might have to do a bit of defending. It might look a bit ugly. It might not be pretty football, but it'll be the counter-attacking football, transition football that we've probably seen from him in the past. It's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
And I think they have to make it a fight because, again, stay together.
I'd play the kids, in my opinion. I think it's an opportunity. I think McTominay surely will play because he's a goal threat. I'd play Kobe Mainoo.
Oh, he's a player.
100%. I think he's a top draw player. I'm not sure why he's sitting on the bench at the moment. So I play Hannibal as well. I think he gives them legs. He wants to fight for that shirt. You know, they're proud to wear the Man United shirt, and I can't say that for every Man United player at the moment.
Well, that's the big game on Sunday. 24 hours earlier, there's another big game at the other end of the Premier League.
It looks like Manchester United's resurgence has been kind of cut short.
Yeah, but I think that when you look at the way Man